Okay, hi everybody. It's a beautiful sunny day here today outside. However, inside is actually not that warm. Hence, I'm in my warm top, and of course, being in England, I have a warm cup of tea. So, excuse me if I take a few sips during the coaching, but it is lovely outside. Okay, let's get on. I said yesterday I'd like to keep these down to half an hour, which means we need to dive right in. So just quickly, can you let me know if you can see and hear me? I have enabled the chat, I do believe, yes, and the questions and answer Q&A is enabled now. So let me know, and we can dive right in. Today, I am going to be starting the sort of basics of what online marketing is all about. Today and tomorrow, I'm literally just kind of recapping over the basics. For some of you, it will be a recap. For some of you, it will be a refresh. And for some of you, it might all be quite new. So just bear with me, because either way, because it's all very, very important. It's important that you know the foundations, you understand the difference between marketing online and marketing offline, and the similarities, and the fact that there are so many similarities, so many of the skills that you learn if you have just been doing offline marketing up until this point, you can actually bring online. And there's so many just plain ordinary life skills that people miss. They don't realize that you just kind of utilize what you already know when you're online, and you kind of have a winning solution as it is. So I'm going to go over the basics today. Today it will be about building your audience online. Just turning my phone up there. Today it will be about building your audience online, different ways of building your audience, and today will be about why we build an audience and how we keep that audience, and tomorrow will be more about the technicalities, the different ways that we can build that audience online. So what I'm going to do, again, is share my screen. I've got just a quick short presentation. It took me like 20 minutes to put together. It's nothing fancy at all, but again, I think it just helps to have things in front of you rather than just be listening to me the whole time. Some people relate better when they can absorb things better, let's say, when they can see it online and on the screen. I know I do. So it's just a few non-fancy slides just to kind of reinforce what I'm saying. So let me just make sure then nobody is saying that they can't see me and hear me, so I'm presuming that you can, and I'm going to share my screen and dive right in. So thank you very much for coming, those of you who are on here. And anyone who's not on here, obviously I will get the recording out as soon as I can. Okay. Just enlarge that a bit. And enlarge this one and get started. So the basics of online marketing. Like I said, today and tomorrow I'm going to be concentrating on literally just outlining the basics of online marketing, what it's all about. Today, building that audience online, building a relationship with that audience, the why, and then tomorrow more the how that you build that audience. Tomorrow we'll go through the basics of how you build your audience, and today we talk about building that relationship. And remember, you only need to start with one person. One person is the start of your audience. So that could be one person you reach out to online. It could be one lead that you've generated. And there's not much difference really between a person you reach out to. They are basically a lead. and a lead that you generate through something such as blogging, somebody who clicks on your link. So something such as blogging, video marketing, some way that you've got your link out there and somebody has clicked on their link, inputted their information. They are a lead that you have generated. And a lead that you sort of create yourself is somebody that you reach out to personally yourself. So they could be someone on Facebook, for example. You might go into the different Facebook groups and start conversations up in those and reach out to a couple of people in those Facebook groups. Then they will be targeted because you can choose the Facebook group, you can choose the sort of audience you go into, and they're still a targeted lead. There's different ways of using these strategies online. There's different forms, really, I suppose, of leads online. And some people kind of go on and on and on and on about generating leads, when actually a lead can also be somebody that you personally meet online. I know it's different to meet somebody online than it is to meet somebody offline, but you're still meeting them through social media, through maybe your YouTube channel, that kind of way. You're still meeting them. They are still targeted if you do it right, and you can still build that relationship with them. They still become part of your audience. Right, so how do you build a relationship with a cold audience online? A cold online audience. Online, you need to remember that the huge majority, if not all the people you connect with, will not know you, and that is what cold market means. That means that they are cold. They don't know you. They don't know you at all. And unless you quickly do several things, they will quickly leave. You need to gain their trust. They must start to know, like, and trust you. You must establish credibility with those people. You must be the person that they are looking for. You must be the person that they themselves are looking to be. And at the end of the day, you must lead. And even if you are brand new, you need to grasp these principles. You need to understand that you need to become that leader, and you can do it a lot more quickly than you think you can, in order for people to stay with you, in order for people to stay with you long enough that they will learn to know, like, and trust you. Now, I'm talking from a perspective of somebody who was totally new to all of this. I knew nothing about marketing online. Back in October 2012, which is when I sort of found online marketing. So it's coming up to 2 years ago now, but I knew nothing. I knew how to send an email. I knew how to do basic word processing, and that's it. And it didn't take long before I started just simply following instructions and following directions. And that meant that I started generating leads, and I started building up a relationship with the people, because they became my audience, and I saw the value in building up that relationship. And because I did it, as somebody who literally knew nothing, I know anybody can do this. You can do this. And many of you might well be a lot more technical than I am. So, I've put this here: a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, partly because I just love that picture. It just says so many things, and it's just so true. You have to begin with that first step. You have to be the one who takes that first step. You need to absorb this information, and you need to act on it. So how do you build a relationship with those people online, those people that don't know you at all? How do you go about building that relationship? Again, like I said, tomorrow I will outline the basics of how you build that audience, and today I'm outlining the basics of how you build that relationship with that audience. Now, you might question, why on earth is she doing it that way round? There's two reasons. Well, first of all, over the course of 2 days. You're not waiting very long anyway, so it doesn't really matter which order I do it in. And secondly, like I said, one person can be your audience, so you might have the beginnings of that audience already, so you need to know how to build that relationship with that person, or with those 2 people, or with those 5 people, with those 10 people, however many people it might be. Right, this is crucial. The fact that building a relationship online is not much different to building a relationship offline, and that is what the vast majority of people don't realize. A lot of people miss that. They don't think about that, they don't realize that, which is why you see things like, you go into the Facebook groups and you see things like people posting up, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you have to join now, and they paste their link. They're doing, I mean, would you do that to someone if you were offline? Would you really go up to someone you didn't know in the street and say, hi, my name's Angela. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Join me now. Here's my card. You just wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do it like that. And if you did, you might have tried it, I'm sorry, but those people will just run a mile. It's just human nature. That's not how you build a relationship. It's not how you build a relationship offline. It's not how you build a relationship online. And if you're thinking at this moment, well, I don't want to build relationships, I just want to make sales, then I'm sorry, you got it wrong. Because in order to make sales and then to continue to make sales day in, day out, you need to build a relationship, because people will not buy from you unless they trust you, particularly when you're online. And you might once in a while get the odd sale. But if you want to make this not even necessarily a full-time thing, but if you want to be, if you're serious about doing network marketing, affiliate marketing, anything, any kind of marketing online, you must first understand that people need to get to know, like, and trust you, that you have to build that relationship with people. Okay, so how do you do it? Well, people need to get to know you. You need to be approachable. You need to be honest. You need to be open. You need to share your story. People love a story. And believe me, everybody has a story. It does not have to be embellished. You have a story. And your story is building right now. And you need to share your life as it happens. People need to see you as the leader. So as you learn, make sure you share. And you need to remember this because it's critical. Be, do, have. So first you must be that leader, you must be the person that people will follow. Then you must do, and it does come next. You have to be that person in your head first, then do, and then you can have. And I've put this little quote here. Trust yourself, you know more than you think you do, because you do. And until you realize that, it'll be holding you back. You do know more than you think you do. Everybody does. Okay, the different media that you can use to build that relationship online. Sorry, I'm just having some tea. Different media. There's Facebook, of course. You can either use your Facebook profile, or you can create a fan page. It takes 5 or 10 minutes, and then you can make it, you can better it, you can make it better, but 5 or 10 minutes initially. And to have both is actually best. You can build relationships with people through your Facebook profile, and you definitely should be posting on there, posting your life, posting things that happen to you, posting about your family. It's one of the places that you can build your brand. However, it's not necessarily the place that you want to be posting your business stuff. It really depends. It depends who's on your personal Facebook profile. And if a lot of people on there are business people, then you can just have your Facebook profile and use that. But for a lot of people, the people on their Facebook profile are actually their personal page are actually sort of friends and family, and you don't necessarily want to be showing them any of your or much at least of the business side of things, because they'll probably get bored of it. So I definitely recommend you create a fan page and you run them alongside each other. Definitely don't just neglect one for the other. You need to run them alongside one another. It's important. You need to create and encourage engagement. Share you and your life. People are nosy, they are. People want to know what you're all about. People want to know, who you are. And you need to remember the 90-10 rule. That is that you post 90% content and 10% offers. Post 2 to 4 times each day or more. And the easiest way to build an audience on Facebook is to pay. Okay, other social media platforms, the same rules apply, such as Instagram. Well, there's so many out there. I can't even name them all, but there's so many social media platforms out there. But remember, the same rules apply. Create engagement and encourage engagement. Share you and your life. Don't just post offers. Remember the 90-10 rule. Post 2 to 4 times a day again. And there's also emails, of course. As you start building up your email list, you really need to try to be consistent with emailing that list. It's best to do it once every day, but at the beginning it might be sort of once every couple of days. There's always the phone, of course, tried and tested, webinars and your YouTube channel, and there's so many more different places as well. Anywhere that you can put yourself out there, anywhere that you can share yourself, share any training that you have. And like I said yesterday, the 90% content, if you're new, you don't need to think, well, I can't do that. I don't know anything. I can't possibly post 2 times a day content. You can, because it's out there. All you need to do is follow a couple of the leaders, look at their blogs. You will find content. At the beginning, you could just share their content. Now, that's not going to build up your credibility, and you need to make sure that you are giving them credit. But it's still content. If you watch a webinar, you'll have enough content for loads of different posts and emails and videos and whatever else ways that you're deciding to do it. And another point I want to make here is you don't have to do all of this at once. If you've decided that you want to start to build your audience on Facebook, then stick with Facebook. If you've decided you want to build your audience on YouTube and you want to do video marketing, then stick with video marketing. And yes, when you start generating leads and you start getting people's emails or phone numbers, yes, you need to follow up with them, and yes, you need to start engaging with that email list. But you don't need to learn all of this at once. Webinars will come quite a long way down the road, but probably sooner than you would imagine. You will know enough to be able to have a live webinar with a few people on your audience pretty early on. You'd be surprised, and the sooner you start doing it, the sooner your confidence will start to build up as well. There's just so much out there that you can learn from and absorb. And yeah, I do honestly believe it is very, very important that you do invest in some training, but there's also a lot of free training out there. But I do honestly believe that this is a business. You need to treat it like a business, and you do need to invest in yourself. So you do need to invest in some training. So when you've decided whether it's going to be Facebook, it's going to be YouTube, it's going to be emailing, because there's trainings on email list building, there's training on doing webinars, there's training on prospecting on the phone, there's training on everything you can imagine. Once you decide what you're going to focus on learning, I honestly do believe that you should invest in some training to learn how to do that particular strategy. So why engage with your audience? Well, like I've said, you need your audience to grow to know, like, and trust you. You want your audience to stay with you. So you need to feed them what they want. And then, and only then, will they buy from you? Will they join you? And will they become your customers? And more importantly, if you do this right, those people will become your repeat customers. And that, at the end of the day, is what you want. You want an audience which grows. You want an audience which trusts you. You want an audience which buys from you. And more importantly, you want an audience which repeatedly buys from you. And once somebody does buy something from you, their whole mentality towards you changes. And it's much easier for someone to turn somebody into a repeat customer than it is to get them to be a customer in the first place. Right, those of you panicking about marketing online being technical, you do not need to know much, and you do not need to be, it doesn't need to be highly technical, and you don't need to know highly technical stuff. First of all, you only need to know a little bit more than the 97% who don't know anything, which is literally 97% of network marketers out there. Online marketing can be technical. But first of all, it doesn't have to be. And there's also a lot of places that you can outsource any of the technicalities that you come across. So, for example, when I decided, I think it was about 6 months in, I started getting consistent results. I decided I wanted to start a blog. I just looked on odesk.com and I outsourced, and it didn't cost much. I outsourced having my blog created for me. And you can use odesk.com, you can use elance.com, you can use fiverr.com, which is literally $5 for different jobs, to outsource pretty much anything. So if you come across something that you want to do, but you're not too bothered about whether you learn how to do it yourself, you just want it to be done, if it's simple and straightforward, you can either just go on YouTube and type it in and learn how to do it yourself. But if it's more technical, if it's going to take a while, don't waste that time, because your time is it's crucial. You need to be spending your time doing things that are going to benefit you, and learning something technical, which you might only use once anyway, is a waste of time. So definitely outsource. Literally anyone can do this, believe me, you can. You need to just learn one method to build your audience, like I've said, and then you just need to be you. Learn and implement. It's so important that as you learn, you implement, and then share as you learn. I remember a quote from somebody saying, first jump out of the aeroplane and then open your parachute on the way down. And that just resonated with me, because you need to do the jumping first. You need to dive in and take action first, and you will learn to open that parachute on the way down. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Let me come off sharing my screen again. There we go. Oh, Joe, you had a little bit of trouble getting on. Well, hopefully no one else did. And even if you did, I will shoot over the recording. But today, just to recap, was all about the basics really of audience building, of the critical point of marketing online is not only to build your audience, but to build up a relationship with that audience so that they learn to know, like, and trust you. You can then market anything you want to them. So tomorrow I'll be talking about just going over really the basics of the different ways that you can build that audience. Okay, so just an outline again, really. Any questions at all? Email me, contact me on my blog, on my Facebook page, and I hope you've enjoyed today. I've certainly enjoyed coming on. If I sounded a little bit vague in the middle, it's because someone knocked at the door. So sorry about that. It put me off for a minute there. I have no idea who it was, so I hope it wasn't anything particularly important. I will probably have a note through the door now saying that I have to trek half an hour to the post office to collect a parcel, so hopefully that's not what it was. I look forward to tomorrow when we'll be going into the basics of how rather than sort of why. I'll see you then. Okay, bye-bye.